women's 5,000-metre final gets underway, and the reigning Olympic champion goes straight to the back. Sifan Hassan, out of your picture, has not had an easy season. And there are whispers in the distance running fraternity that the Ethiopians could go for a clean sweep here. They have the second, third and fourth fastest athletes in the world this year in this race. Seo is a world indoor silver medalist over the 1500. There's Gide with bib 5, set of global medals over the 10, with a gold here with the 1500 metres. Maybe you would say out of the three Ethiopians, Sege with that raw speed that almost lived with Faith Kipyegon in the 15. Maybe she is the favourite out of the three Ethiopians. But the Tesembek Gide was magnificent and found wonderful form. Pretty steady here as they come round towards hits the front. She's having a full-on conversation with Dawid Seo. And at last, they have come up with their plan. And it's Gudaf Sege leading. The Tesembek Gide is the tallest of the three Ethiopians. She's in third, with Dawid Seo in second. And now, Caroline Kipkurui of Kazakhstan, formerly of Kenya, seventh in the 10,000 metres. She comes through and tucks in behind Gudaf Sege with 10 laps for one of the Ethiopians to decide to go. When they were jogging round to the start of the 1500 on the back straight on the previous lap, they were almost at a complete standstill. And still on the right of picture, in the orange vest, no move from Sifan Hassan. Great work by the camera crew there to show us Cranny in the centre of that group. The big burst to 15th. That's Beatrice Chebet, the World Junior Cross Country Champion from Aarhus. What a great race that was on a brutal course. In Denmark 3 years ago, she now comes up onto the shoulder of the former Kenyan, Kipkurui. And Tesembek Gide having another conversation here. They almost look like they're smiling, talking to each other. It's far too slow for Gide's liking, and that is why the Kenyans, and she would slow it down just a little bit. I saw her do that 2 or 3 different times. Now she's up front. She's going to take her turn at leading this pack. So Gide, led by Gudaf Sege, Beatrice Chebet, another 2 Kenyans queuing up. Margaret Kipkemboi is the one on the curb. She got the silver medal in this event 3 years ago. Rory Akite is the less decorated between Kipkemboi herself. She's just in around about 5th place at the moment. Well, Gide has gone to the front, but she hasn't really injected too much pace. And once again, a little bit of tit for tat. Sege takes her turn at the front, and little by little, Dan just in front of her. The 3 Americans running all in a line on the inside. In front of that back straight. Sege looking around. It's Rory Akite on the curb. Sege leading, Gide in second. Of the 2 East African nations, separated by the vast, stunning Rift Valley. If you are a fan of distance running in Kenya and Ethiopia, you really do feel that you're somewhere magical when it comes to distance running, even if you're just jogging along a 7-minute miling. There are runners everywhere of all abilities, some wearing tracksuits, some running in bare feet. Distance running is part of life in Ethiopia and Kenya, and it's a contributing reason, but not the only reason why these Kenyans enjoy so much success on the global stage, all of which, of course, is underpinned by incredible amounts of hard work. Yes, there is a certain advantage to being born at altitude, but without the graft that goes along with it, the performances wouldn't come. The longer this race goes on, you suspect the more it plays into the hands of Gudaf Sege. Just getting an update on the statistics of pale blue and yellow vest. Sege has got brilliant raw speed. That's why she was almost able to live with the pace of Faith Kipyegon in the 1500 metres. Very steady again now, Dan. Nobody's really prepared to really go for this, and they'll have to at some stage because there's only 5 laps to go.
Well, it's interesting, yeah, it looks like a game of cat and mouse right now, but what this is doing, though, is it's also allowing a number of other athletes just to stay in this race. You'd think that the Kenyans and the Ethiopians could just actually pour it on and break away from this pack, but they just continue to lead one another here. Gide, Sege,
and that's allowed Sifan Hassan to come through on the inside. They're running so close together, these three. It's a miracle they haven't tripped each other up. Hassan has got the inside line, but has she got the speed? It's been a difficult season for the Dutch woman. Sege's coming past her. Silver in the 1500. Little by little, Sege's pulling away. A great effort by Chebet, the cross-country specialist. But Gudaf Sege takes the 5,000-metre title. Chebet takes the silver. And it's a bronze for Dawit Seyum. It was just too slow for the likes of Latessa Bet-Gide to live with the explosive pace at the end. It was so tense and so tactical, and despite her mistake of letting Sifan Hassan come through on the inside with 200 to go, Gudaf Sege was not to be denied the title. Silver in the 15, but it's all gold tonight over the 5. And Sege is hoist teammates. Fantastic for Gudaf Sege, and she tastes the podium on a memorable evening.
Wow. That was really something, Rob, and I wasn't 100% sure what we were watching. So many different moves. That race absolutely had it all. Lead changes. And just when you thought with a lap to go, is Sifan Hassan and ruin this all, spoil it all for the Ethiopians. But it was just too much. You said the 1,500-meter runners were going to make their move with a lap to go, and they certainly did. Sege certainly has shown people what she's capable in the 1,500 meters, but Hassan definitely made a run of it. But talk about the teamwork throughout the entire race by the Ethiopians. The Kenyans could never really quite get together and work together as a group, but it was the Ethiopians controlling that pace and that entire race until the end when it was a free-for-all sprint.
And I did wonder at one stage whether they'd made a mistake to let Hassan through on the inside. Dawit Seyum, a wonderful bronze from her. Gide was 5th in the end. Kipkemboi was 4th. Great silver for Beatrice Chebet. She came up onto Gudaf Sege's shoulder, but just didn't quite have the raw pace down the final 50. And that was almost an inevitability because they let the early pace drift. But the Ethiopians are already singing and dancing. It's been an excellent championship for them, it really has. So Gide took the 10 and Sege's taken the 5. She'll be over the moon with that. It was a brilliant effort from Sifan Hassan because she has had a horrible season that started really late. She only registered her first finish over the 5,000 earlier in July. So she got herself in the right position, but unlike Doha and unlike Tokyo, when she came round the final bend on the inside, she just didn't quite have the speed and the stamina in her legs to hang on for a medal. But you're quite right. I mean, it was as if they were out for a Sunday morning jog in the early stages.
Well, it's so unusual, though, to see teammates like that getting up front, talking to each other, but it looked like they had a plan. You see, Guide would just block Chibet. She would just surge ahead, get in the front, and then she would slow things down. But Hassan had enough of the plane with about a lap to go, and she needs to create a little space for herself because she has such a long stride and long legs. This move to the inside, a tricky move right there, onto the rail. And I thought, oh no, here goes Hassan. She's going to ruin this for the Ethiopians. Let's see what she's got left.
It was a mistake by Sege just to drift towards the outside of the lane. I think she did it because Chibet was quite close to her. At this point, Dan, they were running so close together that it is a miracle none of them tripped each other up. And that was the point at which Hassan's lack of fitness began to tell. And Gudaf Sege just wound it up and wound it up. Chibet did really well to respond to the extent to which she did. The former world junior champion and world cross-country champion. And Gudaf Sege savoured every single second of that moment. So often it hasn't been her turn to finish on top spot. But she got it right tactically. And she at last collects the global gold she's striven towards for years.